Thank you very much, Tanvir, for this. I think there are 2 or 3 aspects to the issue of WTO reform and the role of the trading system. I think the first point I want to make is that in spite of what may have seemed to be disruptions in supply chains and the world trading system during the pandemic and the war in Ukraine, the multilateral trading system anchored by the WTO has actually been very resilient. Let's take the issue of food security. 1 in 5 calories consumed in the world is traded. And when the Black Sea Grain Initiative faltered, countries could, because of trade, look for alternative sources to be able to meet their supplies. Countries like Ethiopia looking for wheat, even Turkey, even Europe looking for alternative sources of energy. That's just an illustration. The multilateral trading system is needed today to solve the problems of the globe that we see, be it food security or energy security, be it climate change. And the WTO is at the center of that. So we are strongly saying that the WTO is already performing. We had quite a lot of successes thanks to members at our 12th ministerial in June last year. And so we should push forward with the reforms that are necessary to make it perform even better, including the dispute settlement system.
When do we see those reforms come to fruition? When do we see the dispute settlement mechanism really work, ma'am? Because 127 members of the WTO have raised this issue. I believe in March of this year, the United States used its veto power to not assign new members, new judges to the appellate body. Do you think the U.S. is playing fair on this front?
Let me step back. I think we need to update people on where we are. First of all, the dispute settlement system isn't completely non-functional. The first level, the panel level, is working, and there are actually 17 disputes before it. The problem is when a judgment is given, because the second level, the appellate body, doesn't work, it can be appealed into the void. So that's what we need to reform. And I have some good news. The U.S. has recently really been cooperating in terms of trying to see what are the issues with this system and how do we reform it. So have other members. It's not only the U.S. that has issues. But so it is moving. Sure. It's moving along, yes, the reform. However,
speed is of the essence, right?
Speed is of the essence. I do agree with that. And we're aiming to see where we can get at our 13th ministerial in Abu Dhabi in February 2024.
Do you feel like you're caught in the middle of U.S.-China trade tensions? Because the U.S. on its part is justifying the slowing of this process on account of China not playing fair by the trading rules, international trading rules, and is citing national security risks to protect itself. So how does the WTO balance that, the focus on national security versus having free and fair trade practices?
Well, that's what makes my job at one time difficult, but at the other time exciting. We have to work with our 2 members, and I can tell you that at the WTO, much as the tensions are there, they are trying to find a way forward. And part of what we're going to look at is what does the national security issue mean as we reform the dispute settlement system? And I think there's been a willingness not only on the part of the U.S. but also China and other members to look at this. So we are coming. It's a very difficult process. I don't want to oversell progress, but I do see progress.